Welcome back to another episode of Scryer's Room. I am your host, Famfare.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mario.
And today we want to talk about a very special place in this world. Of the 7 continents, one is a very special place in my heart as being honestly a cartoon land.
They will probably not appreciate anything that we have to say about them. But frankly, who cares?
Yeah, I certainly don't.
We're obviously not saying that they're bad. In fact, they're good in a lot of ways.
They bring me a lot of joy.
A lot of joy.
A lot of joy. We are, of course, talking about Australia and Australians.
Yeah. The Australian accent is already just one of the fun accents to do, and you don't need to do a very good job of it to really, like, if you do an English accent, like, we're close enough to, like, knowing about the English that, like, some people will be like, oh, he's doing Cockney, or like, oh, he's doing a posh accent. We can at least, like, differentiate between them. With the Australian accent, there's no cultural significance behind, like, who cares if it's Perth or whatever other areas they have? Who even cares if Perth's part of Australia? You just do the crocodile hunter, and then you're fine.
No, yeah, every time someone brings up English accents, unfortunately, my mind immediately shoots to The Fanatic when Moose is doing I'm actually not English. I'm actually not.
Oh my goodness.
And I hurt. I hurt on the inside. I hurt physically when that happens.
I feel like you could probably dissolve me to like a fine like pool of liquid by just recording me doing an accent badly and then forcing me to see it. Like, I know I don't do the accents good. That's why so many of them are not on record. So if you were to just turn it back on me, it'd be a Picture of Dorian Gray situation.
Oh, man. Damocles live points directly.
I actually have a hard time trying to do an Australian accent.
I can't
That's
do it
a lot
either.
of fun.
I can't do it. Kevin does a pretty good one.
It's just so fucking weird. Like, sorry, Australians, but yeah, it's just like, okay, so there's like this famous commercial, right? Like it apparently won awards or something, where like
Hilarious.
a dad and his boy are in a car, and then they're pulling out to a street, and some guy is speeding and is gonna hit them, and it's probably gonna
I know this
kill the kid or whatever. And then it like time freezes, and then it has a moment of like the dad gets out of the car and the other guy gets out of the car, and they have like this conversation, and it's like really heartfelt, and I'm supposed to take it seriously, and I can't because the guy.
Why would you kill my boy?
Specifically, the line that lives in my head forever now is he's basically like something. It's like you didn't see us, so you shouldn't be speeding, basically. And then the guy's just like, I can't stop. I'm going too fast. And then the guy's got me boy in the bick. And it's just me boy in the bick. Like I can't take that serious. I'm sorry. Like if you can't help that's the way you talk, like I get it.
Obviously,
but understand that I also can't help that I find that funny.
It goes both ways.
Like,
so a thing about accents that I feel the need to always bring up, they laugh at us.
Yeah, absolutely.
They definitely
go for it.
Yeah,
I'm sure we're hilarious to them in our own ways. So when it comes to at least accents, you'll never get me being like, well, hold on now. Unless you're doing, like, full-on John Wayne style racisms, where you're just like, I'm going to play Temujin, the great Khan.
Who let that happen? Who let that happen?
Old Hollywood.
Jesus.
I know we already talked about it, but it bears repeating that happened, and everyone in the world let it happen.
Yeah, I have a saying I use a lot involving various accents and how, different folks will try to use English, but then they have their own speech organs developed a certain way, so they kind of fail at it.
Right.
And, call me a bigot, call me what you will, but if it didn't want to get made fun of, they would not sound like that.
Well, I say I find the Australian accent to be funny, but I also watch a lot of Australian like content creators.
Oh, yeah, they're hilarious.
Oh no, it's just like usually I don't find them.
That was me trying to be mean about Mario's interests. I take that back. I feel bad about that.
It's mostly just like a 40K guy, and then there's the dudes who talk about fucking the Elder Scrolls, and then there's these two other guys who just like talk about like movies and stuff.
Right.
And I'm not like laughing at them typically, but it is really, I find they're really good at cursing, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
What originally put this item on the docket is I will always be fucking flabbergasted at how strict their censorship laws are when they are the biggest potty mouths who ever lived.
They say the C word every sentence.
Like it's nothing.
I don't know if I should be censoring myself, but I chose to because...
No, I appreciate it. It's a very hateful word.
It's a crazy inflammatory word that they can't stop
It's
saying.
the N-bomb for women here. In the States, it is the N-bomb for women.
Which is like other places don't like think of it that like...
Right.
Like, obviously Australia, and then the other big one is the Scottish.
Oh, yeah.
So I am hip to that. The UK doesn't take it very seriously. I famously got in trouble because of this. So I played a lot of Guild Wars 2, and I was in an international guild that was mostly centered in the UK at first. It was mostly folks from across the Atlantic, a lot of English folks, and just hanging with them. C-bomb came up all the time, like it was nothing, more than the F-bomb, and so. It just got so desensitized to me that I was just dropping it left and right like it wasn't a big deal. And then I used it in front of my mom, and she was livid.
Moms hate that word.
You're not allowed to say that one, Tony. And I was like, oh shit, all right, damn. And I really pumped the brakes there, but it rolls off the tongue pretty well. It's just so hateful.
You know what I wish?
It has a hard consonant at the beginning, so you can really lean into that one.
I wish we had a truly neutral offensive word. Like one of the words that everyone agrees no one should say that. And it's not specifically targeting anyone. An N-word for the world.
That's truly what our nation needs.
This is how we start healing.
This is how we start healing. Something you can call someone that has no superiority to it.
It's not like a specific word, but... not Australians, but this is a meme online of that the British can just call you anything, and it'll register as an insult.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, when Gordon Ramsay is like, you fucking donkey, like, but in the British accent, like, that just...
You fucking donut?
Yeah, that just immediately registers. And you can say anything, and it works. Like... If you're British,
fucking glue stick.
Yeah, I'm trying to process this, and that checks out. If I imagine a folk saying an aggressively English accent, then it registers as an insult.
It probably works
like
with
candy
Australian
bar.
too.
Like if you called someone a candy bar in the accent, that would be pretty. I'd be livid.
Fucking candy bar.
Yeah. What did he mean?
Yeah.
Look at candy bars here. What does that mean? You calling me fat? You calling me a slave to products? What do you mean, Gordon? Gordon Ramsay's a very, like, strange entity in that, like, I don't know his qualifications as a chef, besides he's very, very famous, specifically for being mean.
Yeah, I know, ironically...
Is he the greatest chef? Do we know that?
I doubt it.
No. Well, okay. You can't... That's like... You can't decide someone's the greatest chef. That's not how cooking works. But also, he cooks a very specific kind of cuisine, which is he's classically trained as, you know, in like the French style.
So butter.
Yeah, yes, a lot. But he specifically...
I learned that joke from you, by the way. Thanks.
Yeah, man, nice. He specifically learned a lot and was trained by Marco Pierre White, who was a very famous... he's like half Italian and half French, I think. But he's another famous
like
chef guy of French cuisine, had Michelin stars, famously gave them back. But that's the kind of chef Gordon is as well.
Gotcha.
He also became very mean from working under Marco Pierre White, who apparently allegedly made him cry.
Yeah, I remember hearing a famous
And
story.
he just perpetuates the cycle.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to say. I remember hearing a story where, like, he talked about the worst part of his chef career is being talked to the way he talks to other people.
Yeah.
And I just find it deeply ironic and kind of bitch-made that, like, that's oh, you're going to perpetuate a thing that you hate? You're just going to put more darkness into the world? Do you think that's a good idea?
So I was under the impression that, like, his TV character does that,
Yeah.
and so for all of his shows he does that. But it was my understanding that, like, at actual high-end restaurants, you can't afford to have all the chefs yelling at each other. Everyone should know what their job is. This is the big leagues. So it would be rather quiet, I imagined.
Like, he probably snaps at someone if they do something wrong. But,
Right,
you
but
know,
it's
like,
not constant yelling
yeah,
on the TV.
No. But no, famously, chefs are usually, like, kind of mean.
Yeah.
That's like a stereotype.
You know who I always thought was, like, the most stressed, yelly group of people in the world, and I don't think that I'm entirely wrong.
Australians?
Well... the fuck's that supposed to mean?
I love you, Australia.
But like, elementary-ish, but really more middle school to high school, like, chorus and choir teachers.
Oh, man.
That is the most high-strung group of people I've ever met. I had 3 of them over the course of my educational career, and all of them were, like... They exploded with a regularity that I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? We're kids, man! I don't know all the words! I remember specifically in, like, elementary school, we had a song, I don't know if it was in Swahili, it was some other language that I believe in part of my brain it's connected to, like, some folkloric African story that they were teaching us at the time that was relevant, and all I remember from it is, like, the through line, the hook going through the song was everyone goes zoom 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 zoom, but the rest of it is in another language. It's important to note that. And she was like, how the fuck are you not getting this? Just screaming. And we're like 9. Man, I barely speak English right now. I haven't even gotten to, like, writing more than 5 paragraphs. 5 paragraphs was like, what do you want me to write? The Declaration of Independence? But no. They're the most stressed out group of people I've ever seen. It's like they'll get fired if we sing too bad. Like, we're gonna take food off of their table by missing that note.
No, I remember hearing stories of these folks and that checking out. I personally would not know. I was a band boy.
Oh yeah, you did.
I played the tuba.
Yeah.
The
big brass.
I've been considering picking up trumpet again, or picking up trumpet at all. It's the same. You finger the instrument the same way, but you go up an octave, I believe, for trumpet. So, but yeah, I do miss my brass. That was a good time. That was a good time in my life. Playing a big old tuba.
I don't play any instruments. I have grunkled hands.
Yeah, he does.
But I have a lot of instruments in my home. Out of both an appreciation and if somebody dies and they have musical instruments, I tend to steal them.
It's an aesthetic choice.
I like them. I just like having them.
They're fun little contraptions.
Yeah. I have like 3 guitars. I can't play one. I have a full keyboard down in my room. I almost had 2 of those. And one of them was from a person who, like, plays music professionally, who just was like, oh, I don't need this anymore, and didn't want to donate it to their, like, I think their church, because the church was very Haiti, one of the Haiti ones.
Oh, man.
So they were like, oh, I'm not giving it to them, fuck them.
Always a tragedy.
And I have, like, a lap guitar that we got from, like, a weird mailing mix-up.
Yeah, you got, like, 7 of those fuckers. We have one here.
Yeah.
We let Wendy play with it.
I think...
That's hate, H-A-T-E, not Haitian.
Oh, no, not...
Oh, yeah, thank you for verifying. That one right over my head.
Oh, no!
That one right over my head. I didn't realize that was a thing.
One of the hateful ones, the Haitian churches, I'm sure are fine. That is not what I'm talking about at all. Oh, I didn't even...
Good call there, Mario. Holy fuck. Could have got a brick through my window.
Let's edit that back. Let's run that back.
Yeah, God bless, man.
Oh, fuck, I don't remember what... Oh, yeah. My mom ordered, from, QVC or, one of the home shopping networks, a lap guitar for my grandfather before he died because he played it and he wanted to play again. He didn't have one for, 30 years. And so my mom got it, and we got, a box of 12 guitars. And then we were like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with these? And we called QVC and all that, and they're like, oh, it was a mailing error from the warehouse. And we're like, all right, do you need these back? And they're like, we won't accept them back. We need to be rid of these. And so I guess we were just stuck with them. So we gave them away a bunch. And now I still have one, and I put it on my lap sometimes, I can play it. And I just do SpongeBob noises, because that's how you make the SpongeBob noises with the metal bar that goes over the strings. That's what I think about Australia.
Yeah. Another thing about that continent, all of the wildlife wants you dead and is acting on it.
The wildlife of Australia is so strange that it so many of the things are no. Really, they have if an ostrich was more dinosaur-like. And they kill people all the time. Really? We didn't... Yeah?
They lost the war.
They lost the Emu Wars. Humanity lost the Emu Wars. One of the darkest days of our history.
Okay, specifically 3 idiots with guns.
Lost the Emu War. Yeah.
But they lost.
Yeah.
If I had 3 guns, I don't think I would lose the Emu War. But then
man.
again, I'm some cocky-ass American who's never been in the Outback.
I remember reading
some big birds.
I'm gonna get clever girl day 1.
I remember reading I think it was a 4chan green post, green text, of a guy basically bringing up the Emu War in class, and his teacher was about to get him in trouble, oh, you are so lying.
Oh, no way.
Here's a referral. And he was like, no, you will not give me a referral. The Emu War happened. And he pulls it on Wikipedia.
I will not be silenced!
Yeah. And he pulls it up on Wikipedia. And his teacher was like, well, you know what? I guess I'm a bigot. And he's didn't, drop the whole thing.
I won't let Big Emu silence me. The war happened. We'll never let the Fire Nation forget. I mean, the emus.
I just imagine, I'm pretty sure all 3 of those dumbasses made it out, but imagine if one of them didn't. Imagine if there were actually casualties.
I'm pretty sure there was a casualty.
Really?
I think there was.
The emus killed one of them? I mean, that would make sense. And when you lose a third of your manpower, that's a good reason to stop fighting.
I don't remember. I watched a video about this a long time ago. I don't remember if they... I don't think anyone died.
I feel like somebody definitely got injured, either by emu or...
they probably shot each other.
I was going to say, the most lethal thing that you could have with 3 Australians with guns in the Outback, they were definitely drunk.
No, I believe there were probably casualties, but no fatalities. A casualty is someone gets injured or harmed.
Yeah.
Or bodily harm, whereas a fatality is an actual death.
If your friend actually bleeds a lot from the beer bottle you smashed against his head because he was disagreeing with you about the Emu War's strategy, then that's a casualty, but not a fatality.
No,
not unless he keeps his fucking mouth going.
You know what one of the most deadly animals is?
Go on.
Well, yeah, but in the water, no less, box jellyfish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those things will kill you.
Specifically, there's an even deadlier version that's this big. It's I'm
the size of maybe a $50 coin.
Miming like a couple of quarters maybe, and it's
make a circle with your thumb and index finger. That's around how big it is.
And it's just like a mini box jellyfish, and it's even more toxic
juiced
than the
up
big ones.
with absolute devil juice.
And it's its like delivery system on its tentacles is even better than the big ones. So it's just deadlier all around, and it's near impossible to spot because they're like translucent.
Yeah.
So don't go swimming in Australia.
Yeah, there's specific areas where there's signs that's like beware jellyfish, and you're thinking like, fuck's a jellyfish gonna do? No, it has some of the most deadly or the most deadly like neurotoxin in like the animal kingdom.
Good Lord.
If you don't get like medical treatment immediately, like you are going to die.
Jesus. Dude, yeah, what the fuck? Like,
Also, box jellyfish is the only jellyfish that have eyes, so they can actually see.
oh, fuck. There's another comment with that
So
ass.
they can, like, I mean, they're usually
Presumably they're more runaway.
they don't normally like attack things, although they are predatory, but they can't eat a guy. But
No, they haven't tried hard enough.
I mean, I don't know. You know.
So
Let evolution go a little longer. I mean,
So there was a story I read a long time ago that I just flashed back to, that I don't remember if it was part of this or if it was just I was reading a lot of nautical sci-fi stuff at the time, sci-fi/horror, I guess. There was a story that I was reading that was like, it was essentially the story itself was, I was like 9 years old and I'm reading this. A guy gets stung by a jellyfish, loses control of his body, and then the jellyfish eats him, right? So it's a giant jellyfish, swallows him, and then he starts to regain control enough to try to tear through the top of the jellyfish and swim to freedom before he drowns. And then there's just like hundreds more jellyfish and he gets eaten again, and then like that's the end of the story, he dies. And I remember being 9 and like just reading this being like, why would you put this out there?
What did he mean by this?
Because, like, the through line of it is, like, I knew this could happen. Everyone knows this can happen. The ocean is terrifying. You could and will get eaten out there. And I knew it. And you should know it. Then I turn the page, and then he died! And you're gonna die!
Yeah.
must have been talking about Australia.
Yeah.
Dude, God bless, man. Yeah, I was thinking, like, you know, the good Lord made Australia and thought, you know what? Anyone who goes here should just die, you know? It's the people aren't supposed to live here. And then we did anyway, so.
We evidently... It started as a prison colony, right?
Well, that's...
So I've heard, like, differing things
Modern
now.
Australia. There's
Yeah.
there's the
There's the Aboriginals who
Yeah.
are obviously, like, indigenous peoples, and that's a whole other fucking conversation to have. That's obviously
But
not,
yeah,
not
no,
what
yeah,
I mean.
the penal colony, exactly. I believe they made it a penal colony, or penal colony, whatever the fuck, however you pronounce it.
Penal.
The reason they made it is so that they would just die. Like, the fauna and flora will just kill you. So we don't have to.
Worst case scenario, we have a new port in which to sell cinnamon and other spices that we've stolen.
Ooh, that reminds me of speaking of deadly things, like deadliest plant. Just you'd never think, right, that like, oh, even the tree is trying to kill me.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
But, there is
The exploding tree.
no, apparently a tree called the Gimpy tree, which
The sap one.
the leaves of it, and maybe the sap, I don't know, but basically if that gets rubbed on you, whatever area it touches, it causes apparently such unimaginable pain that like you can just die.
Your heart can
Jesus
just give
Christ.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a story, allegedly, all this comes from Fact Fiend, by the way, the YouTube channel. You should check them out. I like them a lot. There's a whole episode about the Gimpy tree. But apparently some kind of military guy just went into the woods to take a shit.
Right.
And apparently made the mistake of wiping.
He was definitely a
With
different
the
man.
gimpy
Out of
gimpy.
it.
Oh, poor man.
And then when he didn't come back,
Did he die?
they went and looked for him, and he had a bullet in his skull. Apparently,
That's good.
wiping his ass with the Gimpy leaf was so painful he chose suicide.
It's good that he had that then. Because if it's so painful that you can just, like, your heart can stop. I need everyone in the world, really, to really think about what that means. Because when you think of, like, being in a lot of pain, you're not actually thinking about being like in the most pain that you can be. You're thinking maybe you're thinking comparing it to like, oh, this other time I was in a lot of pain. If you've never like had, I mean, nerve pain is obviously going to be like the tip of the iceberg because that's like the most pure pain you can get, like migraines and nerve pain. But if it's so painful that you can actually die, then there's no way for you to experience that level of pain without it like permanently changing you as a person.
Yeah, apparently it was just that bad. He chose just cap.
God.
Oh yeah, my point was, can you imagine how crazy you would be if you had to survive the butthole pain that almost killed you?
Yeah. That's the craziest part is, his ass hurt that bad. Like, of all the places to have that much pain, and like, I like to imagine he grabs it and like the leaf itself doesn't have much on it, so his hand is fine. And then he goes to wipe, and then the fire.
So I'm imagining it goes down really fast. Like he grabs the leaf, doesn't even really think about it. Maybe he's even wearing a glove because, whatever. Yeah. And then he wipes, and then he's like, "Ooh, maybe my hand burns a little bit. Maybe that. Oh, I hope that's not poison."
Yeah.
Jesus
and I don't remember
Christ.
if it's like toxic. I just remember the pain part. That's what really stuck out to me. But apparently it's like one of the deadliest plants. Just for that reason.
Goodness. It's the worst kind of deadly.
Wouldn't you know it, it's in Australia.
God
See, the good kind of deadly is you touch it and then it acts so quickly that you're like, oh no, and then you hit the floor, you're dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if your last words...
Poison frogs are the good kind of deadly.
Yeah, your last word should be like, huh? And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the best way to go. Like,
if it's only deadly because it's like...
That's too good for Australia.
Yeah, no. The devil is like living, he's in the land. Like, he just wants you to suffer.
Goodness.
It's cursed. Actual fucking dinosaurs and shit running around.
Well, to pivot, not talking about deadly things. Although, I don't know. This is probably deadly to somebody. You guys familiar with Marmite?
Yeah.
What's
Vegemite?
Marmite? Oh, Vegemite. Dude, okay, so...
Marmite's essentially the same thing.
I saw Vegemite for the first time the other day on a social media post, and my lip curled. So, apparently a lot of Aussies do not like being associated with Vegemite. It's kind of like, oh, it's a stereotype. Don't do that. Like, we don't all like Vegemite, guys.
Well, we heard the song. You come from a land down under.
Yeah.
She made me a Vegemite sandwich.
Yeah.
So don't try to pull that on us. Like that is the clearest source of information that anyone can have.
Men at Work is scripture.
Yeah.
So I've never had it. I'd be willing to try it because from like a food science perspective, like, yes, that is jam-packed with flavor. I just don't know if eating it...
I would describe it as packed with flavor.
Yeah, but eating it, like, without making it into something else, like, I don't know about that part. I'd be willing to give it a shot, see if, I like it, like on a piece of toast or something, but...
Because, see, I just can't...
If you used it like you would, like, miso or, like, gochujang, like, that makes complete sense to me. So, like, smearing it on a piece of toast...
That's what I was going to say.
I would describe the flavor as being... when you can...
it?
Huh? Yeah, of course.
What do you mean, of course?
I thought everybody had it.
No, I haven't had it.
Is this just a staple in the
Well, no, we don't like it. We don't eat it. But I've had it before. I tried
Where did you have it at?
My house, when I was younger.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know why we had it.
I never once.
Presumably my dad was like, here, try this disgusting ooze.
Okay, so this is stupid. I understand what I'm going to say is stupid.
Hit me with it.
I genuinely didn't think we could get it here.
No, yeah, you can.
Yeah, obviously, you can import shit. Well, I wouldn't be able to import shit. I guess it would just...
I'm pretty sure
it seemed like it was...
No, Tony, your brain went to, why would you want that?
Well, why would you want to import it?
Yeah.
Like, it's all the way from fucking Australia. It's probably expensive as shit.
I think.
But I guess they can make it here.
I think we can make it here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because anything you can make over there, you have to be able to make at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. Because there's just dingoes and dinosaurs and shit out there.
Fucking.
But anyway, I would describe it as, you know when you taste something and you're like, that has too much salt? Mm-hmm. And then there's the difference between that and actually just eating like a spoonful of salt, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a clear difference there.
Yeah.
Well, the middle ground
Man.
is what.
See, and I don't like salty food. So that sounds terrible.
I don't know how much salt's in it, but I can tell you it's got flavor.
Yeah, well, because it's... Yeah, it's basically like a just different style of like, miso or whatever. It's a fermented thing.
Yeah.
Like, and it's... what is it? I think Vegemite specifically comes from like the leftovers of like brewing beer, essentially.
Huh.
And so it's like... So, like, it has a lot of flavor.
I would describe it as tasting like... I now can, like, remembering it now and now hearing those words.
Is it like kind of yeasty?
It has a very like yeasty, like I can really see now in my mind's eye how like that's made out of like beer garbage.
Yeah,
Beer
well, it's,
garbage.
like you can make it like other ways, but it's like I think that was like the
But
traditional.
that's a taste that I can absolutely like. I can extract that flavor in my mind from this horrible brown ooze.
So like, yeah. Eating it on a piece of toast,
It's thick
I don't know
as
about that.
tar.
But I think if you put it in like a marinade or some shit, it would probably be
Like
really
you could
good.
cook with it, yeah.
Yeah, because you might not know, but yeast extract is in a fuck ton of things.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a extremely common ingredient. Check the back of a lot of like savory products, like, and they'll have yeast extract because it when combined with other things makes things taste good.
Okay, pretty cool.
I mean, it's sort of like whenever you take like just a taste of certain like seasonings, it's like that's the worst powder you've ever put onto anything.
Well, it's like, okay, so like the way we think of sauce,
Yeah.
right out of the bottle. But it's like,
I mean, that's historically not very accurate as to what sauce is.
like ketchup or something.
Yeah.
Like, or barbecue sauce. But then you got soy sauce.
Yeah.
It's like, you ever tried soy sauce on its own?
Exactly.
It doesn't taste very good.
Yeah.
It's because you're supposed to put it in other things. It's supposed to help season other things. And it's like, same situation in my mind.
So I was doing a very bad job of making that exact same analogy. Thank you for cutting me off.
You're good.
Where, things are good in other things. You can't have like a little spoonful of saffron and be anything but disgusted.
Yeah.
Saffron's also the most expensive spice.
Yeah, a spoonful of saffron.
Typically, you actually only use it to color things because it gives it a nice like orange-yellow color.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You typically don't use it for the flavor because you just need too much saffron.
Right. And it's completely impossible for us to... I don't know why saffron is the way that it is. I know it's like the stamen of a flower. You need...
It's so expensive because a single thread is all you get out of one stalk, basically.
Why would we even make that a seasoning? Everyone should have decided
because it takes the most effort and it's like really difficult to grow. That therefore it's valuable. And it's the seasoning of kings. Because you can have a bunch of saffron, like I'm rich and you're not.
It reminds me of the scene
Status.
in The Simpsons where they show the back of the bowling alley, where every time the pins all get knocked down, a whole tree gets cut down and then turned on like a giant lathe down into one pin, the whole tree. And
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's why saffron is so fucking expensive.
Good Lord.
And I find it. I mean, it's fine. I guess I haven't really used it a lot in like cooking or anything, but like I feel like it's overrated as a spice for that reason.
I can't... So, the problem that I have is that I have ideology in my brain that's stupid. Ideologically, I could never enjoy saffron now. Like, it will never be worth it.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's wildly expensive. Like, to buy like a little pack of like maybe like 20 or so threads or something, I think it's like $9 or $10 or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
It's really fucking incredible how expensive saffron is.
I was so betrayed when I found out paprika was just ground red, like, pepper. Like, it's...
Have they just ripped away the illusion?
Put me back in the Matrix! I'll give you Zion!
Yeah, anyway, that was a long tangent about food, because I like food, if you couldn't tell.
Food good.
We say that he works in the pizza mines.
Yeah. Another weird Australian thing. What is it? Fairy bread.
Oh, fairy bread's
Fairy
great.
bread.
Yeah.
What's fairy bread?
Butter and sprinkles
Yeah.
Butter and sprinkles
on bread.
Yeah. On bread or toast, depending on how you.
Like sweet sprinkles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It's not bad.
Yeah, no, that I could white bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it on white bread.
Yeah.
Wheat bread, maybe not, but on white bread, I could see that.
I'd make a fairy baguette right now.
Oh man, that does sound pretty good.
I mean,
Fairy baguette actually sounds really close to
like fine, but when I first learned that was a thing, my immediate thought was just like, that's such like a low effort like who made this? Was just like, oh, I got this butter and I have these sprinkles, got some bread.
Look, children.
Who decided on that combo?
Children eats a sandwich like what the fairies eat, with sprinkles.
He's so tired of Vegemite. He's just like, I'll have anything else.
I don't care that the sprinkles are just colored paper. Anything else?
You know what? You know what that reminds me of? One of the most cursed food items I've ever seen someone eat with a shit-eating grin on. Dessert ramen.
Oh man,
I can't believe, because the first time I became aware of this was
s'mores ramen is cursed.
a 4chan
Yeah.
green post where this man is bragging about his dessert ramen.
He's posting with like a certainty that everyone's going to praise him. That like, if you want, maybe I could tell you.
Not praise him, be jealous.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, oh man, I wish I had your fucking disgusting cream-based
I wish
ramen.
I had that slop.
Like, the thing that's the most
Did
cursed...
he make regular ramen into dessert ramen?
Yes.
Or was it okay?
Yes.
What did he do?
He melted marshmallows. He put in chocolate syrup. He added blue food coloring. He melted the marshmallows, obviously. He put in, I think, actual
Mario's
pieces
face
of
is
chocolate
priceless.
and icing.
A bunch of chocolate syrup and peanut
yeah,
butter.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, and then a bunch of sprinkles. That's what brought it up, is the sprinkles. Putting sprinkles on a starch like that, on like a fucking... And the thing is, yeah, he makes it, and it's like...
What was his name? Buddy the Elf?
I don't know, but
That's literally what he made the spaghetti from Elf.
he looks like a Gaio, and 90% of the replies to this post were like rage reacts / just like horror reactions of the people just being like,
As
no,
is correct.
Everyone
You
just
can't.
posting the scene from Breaking Bad. He can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah, but then the other 10% were people being like, that looks really good, man. And I think those 10% are responsible for me seeing dessert cup of noodles. There is an official version now.
Okay. So why I had to ask if it was regular ramen he had turned into dessert ramen, or if it was like
Dessert ramen.
yeah, supposed to be that way, was because like there are just dessert noodles, like that's a thing.
Right. Technically, like the glass noodles are more of like a snack thing than.
Well, I mean, like there's specifically the one I'm talking about is I believe it's called Mont Blanc, and it's noodles made out of chestnuts.
Yeah.
Or acorns, I think, and then served with like basically like a chocolate sauce and then like whipped cream.
That does sound pretty good.
And yeah, that like if it's specifically made to be a dessert, like sure, I can accept this. But no, if you're taking regular ass ramen noodles and putting like
Top
syrup
ramen,
and shit,
motherfucker took boiled top ramen.
I'm gonna make
put that shit in the
you
bowl.
made a mistake.
I'm gonna start making cursed food items. I don't know how to cook, by the way. I'm gonna start making cursed food items. And my first thing that I'm gonna make now is going to be spaghetti pancakes.
What?
It's
could.
It's like a fried spaghetti situation.
Okay, yeah. Press into a pancake.
Okay,
Yeah.
unless you're gonna put like maple syrup on them.
I don't know what you thought I was gonna do with them.
If you like just kept that as a savory thing,
Nope.
that could be food.
A comparable amount of maple syrup as to like a spaghetti bolognese.
No.
Just drown it.
Because fried spaghetti is a thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Like,
hold up. One cosmic truth that our friendly neighbors from the north, the Canadians, have unveiled to me is that maple syrup on mac and cheese is fucking baller. It's a banger.
We're gonna move on from that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm into. I can eat some weird things. I don't know if I'd try it.
Have you put ketchup on mac and cheese?
Yes.
Decadent.
Well, that just makes sense to me.
Well, the maple syrup is a very similar thing because it has
not.
that sweet and savory. I'm
Maple
saying, well, I mean,
it's not
maple
sour
syrup,
though. Ketchup is balanced by that.
Yeah,
it's a balance of
tanginess.
sour
Yeah.
and sweet and salty.
Yeah,
Maple syrup is just sweet.
yeah, it's decadent. I quite enjoy it. I'm not saying put fucking Aunt Jemima corn syrup on that bitch. I mean like grade A maple syrup from a tree's teeth.
I'd be willing to try it. Okay.
You people disgust me so much. I'm going to go back to the joke I was trying to make earlier, where I was going to say that a fairy baguette sounds like there's a Pokemon that's a fairy bread, and then it evolves into a fairy baguette.
That's good.
And that'd be a great Pokemon. It'd be normal fairy type.
And then his ultimate form or his final evolution is a confetti cake
But if you,
or funfetti cake.
but he has a separate evolution if he's evil that he turns into like Marmite or Vegemite.
It gets all spoiled and rotten.
Black now. Dark as the evil pits
Yeah,
of
dude,
hell.
the color of Vegemite is concerning.
I would call it Pepsi shaded.
It is Pepsi shaded. It's like a caramel, like a dark caramel. I don't like it. I saw it for the first time the other day, and it was kind of, I had the same reaction to the dessert ramen guy. This guy had 2 pieces of toast with both pieces slathered with Vegemite, facing upwards, and he's like, "Yum yum, time to eat my sandwich." And my thought was, ugh.
So Tony, I'm gonna hit you with a nightmare. Somebody hands you what you believe to be toast with Nutella on it.
Oh man.
You're ahead of me on the twist here, I think.
Oh man.
Because it's not Nutella, it's Vegemite.
I might strike them. Like I'm not pro violence, but like out of just pure shock and outrage.
Might surprise you. I'm not big on Nutella.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. And I grew up eating Nutella before it was like
Big.
a really well-known thing. Like,
Yeah.
Nutella was normal to me for like my entire life, and I've never really liked it.
You
that
don't
much.
like it?
I'll eat it. I like it's good enough.
Do you not like hazelnut very much?
No, I love hazelnut.
Oh,
How do you feel about chocolate?
It's like too rich. For
Yeah.
me.
I could see that. Yeah.
Which is funny you bring up the hazelnuts because I actually really love hazelnuts. Like that's
Did you
actually,
just eat a hole in
hazelnuts
this
really good.
carpet?
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, my baby bunny Connie is an actual demon.
That's
Let's take a look.
Yeah, she got it. She got that shit.
There's a hole in your carpet.
That's fine. That's what it's for.
Okay.
But there's hazelnut ice cream is a very gelato is a very specific thing in like Italy. It's called Jola. It's delicious. I love it. It's really, like can't really get it here because you can't really get fucking
Real gelato.
Yeah,
I need to go to fucking Sicily with you and get some fucking gelato. This has been on my bucket list. It's on my bucket list.
You can also get it's a Sicilian classic of like you get a literal ice cream sandwich. So they take they take a sweet brioche bun, split it right down the middle, fill it with whatever.
I saw that
gelato you want.
on a travel show, actually.
That's
it.
just a normal thing for Sicilian.
Dude, I love ice cream. I love ice cream so goddamn much.
I'm gonna be a bummer now because I can't eat ice cream, and also like I'm not a fan of Nutella either because I can't taste chocolate anymore.
That's sad. It's very
At all?
sad.
Not really.
What, COVID or something? Or?
Yeah, I had COVID, and then that was what I lost.
Huh.
I have like no
That sucks,
sense of
man.
smell, and then specifically can't taste chocolate, which is fine. I wasn't like huge on chocolate before. If you asked me like, oh, do you like more fruity or chocolatey like candies, I would always be like, oh no, give me like something strawberry or watermelon. That's my flavor.
Kevin is a slut for watermelon.
Oh yeah. People will be like, oh, I love watermelon too, but I can't stand that artificial watermelon in like Arizona's watermelon like juice drink, and I'm like, give me whatever chemical that is, just right into my mouth and eyes, all of it.
So
Yeah, it's funny. I only know about those meme foods. I don't know about any actual Australian cuisine.
I don't know much about their cuisine either. I mean, I know about Foster's.
I mean, I was under the impression
it's the cuisine of Australia.
I was under the impression that the whole premise of this is that we don't actually know shit about Australians.
Yeah, I'm ignorant as fuck, bro.
That's the impression that I was under, because I don't. I know I watched Jim Jeffries before he was big. He's a fun comedian. Other than that, I have no like cultural understanding of theirs.
One of the
it's just they're still a safe target though for us to be like, listen to their accent, different.
One of the fantasy authors I've been watching advice videos on is from Australia. I think it's from Perth, or at least close to Perth. Perth. That's the name.
Pern has dragon riders.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. No, but Jed Hearn, a pretty cool guy. Yeah. So yeah, I've been.
You heard it here first, folks. They're still naming people Jed over there.
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard that name before until I started watching this guy's videos.
Short for Jedediah?
Could be. I'm ignorant. I got no fucking idea.
I would be surprised if it's just Jed.
What are you fucking complicating things for? Fucking American.
You know what's another interesting name? Jeb.
So, Jeb, people think that Jeb Bush's name is Jeb Bush, and it isn't. So, Job from Arrested Development, his name is George Oscar Bluth, and they call him Job. Job is a reference to Jeb because that's how Jeb's name is.
Oh, man. I had no idea. Yeah, so George something Bush?
I don't think it's George, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's his. It's just an acronym, and no one will clap for him.
Please clap. God, it's fucking. what an interesting. Anyway, moving on. I don't know, like Nutella. Going back to Nutella here because I'm fat. I really enjoy it. I'm sad to hear that neither of you enjoy it too much. Yeah. Specifically,
I like it. I just can't eat a lot of it. You know.
Yeah, because I understand that because it is very rich, but I do like rich foods. So for all of you listening out there, I have a little tradition I try to do at least twice a month or sometimes weekly if I can, where I will go to the local mall and just kind of walk around and just be in public for a bit. I like to window shop or look around. It
keeps the madness away.
It does. It's enrichment for out of my enclosure.
Yeah. Otherwise, you turn into like one of the evil wizards.
I go full goblin,
like a Grima Wormtongue situation.
Yeah. I have to go out and spread my wings and peacock a bit and admire any of the mall baddies. And I specifically will go to the local gaming store that's there and look around there real quick, and then I will, on my way. I will pass a GameStop so I can pop in there and see whatever nonsense is in there. And then I also like to go to the Hot Topic. I'll have you know I'm a Platinum Rewards member.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that terrible? Isn't the most cringe thing?
Burn down, Hot Topic.
Well, because I lost a bunch of weight this year, and then I was like, I need a bunch of graphic tees. And so I bought a bunch of cute tees from fucking Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And because I did that, I'm now a Platinum Rewards member. But, and then going past that is the food court. So, like, that's been my route. It's typically, I will, on, like, a Friday, after I'm done doing stuff for the day, I will go on this little route. But
piece by piece, becoming more normal. Fully tabletop game store, that's pretty weird. Less weird to be video game man. Less weird to be in, like, a public clothing outlet. And now, finally, I'm completely normal and in the food court.
In the food court.
I've readapted to society one layer at a time.
But the thing is, on the walk back, once I pass the Hot Topic coming back, I always have enough willpower to not succumb to this two restaurants. And now a third. The one I'm getting to is the third one that recently opened up, as if to attack me. There is a Cinnabon.
Yep.
Next to an Auntie Annie's, the pretzel place. And I love pastry. I love pastry a lot.
It's a problem.
And so the fact that I have to walk by sticky hot Cinnabons and delicious salt cinnamon pretzel rolls, I can usually walk by and be fine and make it to the food court and get something. But then, instead of being sated by the food I ate at the food court, I'm just activated. And so when I walk back, I almost always get that fucking Cinnabon, dude. Dude, it is so good every single time. Oh my god.
It's because you're giving in every single time.
They should have only left them in fucking airports. Humanity wasn't meant to have Cinnabon accessible like that.
The problem is that you're experiencing Cinnabon in its truest, most sinful form, which is when you've told yourself you're not going to have Cinnabon.
I know, dude. That's what I'm saying.
That is their...
It's like Slanesh. It's like Slanesh is putting the idea into my head of, you want the hot cum, don't
but
you?
You're not allowed to.
Slanesh, I'm diabetic. It'll kill me.
That's right.
You're going back
You're
for
not
it.
allowed to do it, and you're still going to grab one, aren't you?
Every single time.
Have at it.
Okay, so the point of where I'm getting to here is
There's a third place.
the other day I was walking back and I had the resolve to not get the pecan cum roll.
Right.
And I was very satisfied with myself until my head caught one of those little like kiosks that's set up, but it was a little food cart, a little baby food cart,
right.
And there was some cute girl and some older woman. I'm assuming one of her older relative, maybe like a grandma or mother, and they were selling mini pancakes, and I was like, mini pancakes, what? So I walk up to the mini pancake stall, and they're so nice and friendly.
Of course they are.
And you can get 10 mini pancakes for $10. And I was like, this is so cute. Look at these little... This is Big Tony all over it.
They've already got their hooks in Tony.
Yeah, and so...
Even hearing him tell the story, I can hear where it happens.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking, well, I can't get mini pancakes. I can't get pastry... I can't get pancakes. That's just wrong. I need to be strong.
The spider-like fingers of Slanesh fall on your shoulders like, that's right, you can't, can you?
And as I'm thinking this, the sweet cashier lady says, oh, you can also put Nutella or strawberry syrup on them. And I say, well, can I do both? And she says, well, why not? And yeah, I got the fucking mini pancakes instead of that shit in Nutella. And drizzled the strawberry syrup on it. And I'm surprised I'm still alive. So that should have put me in a diabetic coma.
Remember way at the beginning when I was like, where are we going to make fun of Australians? And then partway through I said, it's okay because they'll definitely make fun of us too. This is why.
Yeah, this is why. That's how fat I am. I was so satisfied with my ability to not get a Cinnabon, I rewarded myself with mini pancakes.
Yep. That was good willpower. Hit the showers and have us treat.
Dude, yeah. And now, I guess they're fucking thriving because they're still there. And so now when I go to the mall, I am assaulted by 3 tasty treats.
Right, and one of them's a small business that will fail, and that family...
If I don't eat their pancakes, they'll starve!
Yeah.
They got pancakes, don't they?
Not when he gets through with them.
Dude, they were so fucking good! They were so fucking good!
Yeah, well, I'm going to make mine out of spaghetti.
If you are a person living in Virginia, and you can go to Potomac Mills Mall... Go buy the mini pancakes. They are so fucking good. They shouldn't be that good. No one should be allowed to make mini pancakes. Because they're cute and they're fluffy.
They're little silver dollar pancakes?
Yeah, they're like this, but yeah, like bigger than a silver dollar. And they're fat. They're like pretty wide.
Ooh, they
put them in like a little almost like a cupcake holder thing, but for pancakes. And they close it, and they let it cook, and they open it up, and they're like fluffy little wads. And then they're slathered in Nutella and Bro.
By the way...
and powdered sugar. I forgot to mention. Default is powdered sugar. And it's not even extra to get the Nutella and the strawberry syrup. Yeah, delicious.
By the way, if you want Tony to eat a pastry or anything, just saying that you have it, you don't even necessarily need to give it to him, but you can just say like, "Oh, we have strawberry syrup," and he'll be like, "Well, don't mind if I do."
Yeah. For a while, I had like this curse was broken recently. This curse was broken recently. But for years, up until literally like last week, maybe 2 weeks ago,
oh man,
I could not eat pancakes that were not specifically IHOP pancakes with their strawberry syrup.
Yep.
And I loved those so much that anytime someone else made pancakes and offered me some of that Aunt Jemima bullshit, I would just turn my nose up to it and be like, "This is disgusting sludge."
Thanks, but no thanks. I prefer the hop.
I remember I was working at Geico, getting into service for insurance, and I remember we had to do like a team building thingy, and it was like, okay, pick 3 things, 2 truths and a lie, 2 truths and a lie, and one of my truths was, I don't fucking like pancakes, and people were like, well, that's obviously the fucking lie, look at him. And I was like, I really don't like pancakes.
That fat bitch definitely eats pancakes every day.
Yeah,
I
I don't like them. But recently, my niece was over because my mom would take her for the weekend sometimes. She used to hang out.
Yeah.
Their granddaughter, and my pop made us pancakes, and I was pretty hungry at the time. I didn't want to cook my own food, and I ended up taking some of his pancakes, and we had some just random corn syrup there, or whatever, the not maple syrup there, and I was like, fuck it, I'll try it.
Maple flavored or like the clear Caro syrup?
Maple flavored. And I tried it, and yeah, it was fucking good. I was like, oh shit.
Tony's just finding out that he gaslit himself for years.
Years.
I can attempt to put you off pretzels, even though it's really nothing to like be concerned about.
What?
You know what makes pretzels a pretzel?
I thought it was protein.
Has that like texture, the like glassy like surface, and like the chewiness.
It's calm, isn't it?
No, lie.
Lie?
What's lie?
Pretzels don't look anything like that. We've been lying to you.
It's
Boo.
Extremely alkaline substance.
You can use to dissolve corpses.
Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Dip it in there. That's poisonous.
Yeah.
After you bake it, though, it's fine.
Yeah.
Interesting. So raw pretzels will kill you?
Yeah. Well, after they're dunked in lye, yeah.
Brutal.
So like more like if you get them right before they go in the oven.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, they had to be cooked.
Now I have this bit in my head of like they're trying these British peasants are trying to kill the king, and they're like, we're gonna dip his bread in lye, that'll do it. And then
what a feast for the census!
Yeah, exactly. And they give it to him, and he's like, "This is the greatest bread I've ever had." And they're like, "Oh yeah, haha, you're welcome."
Yeah, no idea how someone came up with that.
Because they were trying to kill someone, clearly.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, fuck,
I don't know,
bro.
we have like sauces and stuff that are like we mashed up these fish and buried them in bog peat, and then we took a bunch of loose gravel and weeds and whatnot, and we boiled them, and then we just combined all of these things, including the bog peat, and that is a sauce for the ages. It's got all the flavors of Worcestershire, and people act like that's an okay thing to eat. So I can't imagine that putting lye on bread is going to be where we draw the line.
You basically described fish sauce.
I was just saying the most disgusting things I could think of.
No, that's minus the like getting the rocks and the weeds and shit. Like that is actually like how you make fish sauce.
My point is that food is disgusting if you know anything about it. Don't ask how the sausage is made.
That was actually it's a modern fish sauce, typically East Asian thing, you know.
Yeah.
Super high in like salinity nowadays, but yeah, it's like you basically just let a bunch of anchovies or some other kind of fish just dissolve in a vat, and then it ferments. And then you strain off the good stuff. Add a bunch of salt, and bing, bang, boom.
You
got
see
some
all
fish
that
sauce.
scum? You're going to want to get that off of there. Ugh, it's like a black, disgusting mess underneath there. That's right. We're going to cook all of our food in it.
Jesus.
No.
Fuck.
And then there's the ancient Roman equivalent, which is garum,
Garum is
which is
evil.
would be made in a similar fashion, except it wouldn't have been as salty apparently.
Yeah.
But that's it. You just mash up a bunch of fish. You got to keep them guts in there because that's where you get all the bacteria to do the fermentation.
Oh man.
And you put them in big old like terracotta vats, and then you leave that in the sun, and you let it ferment until it's disgusting, and
it was their equivalent of like ketchup in America. Everyone had that. You had it with everything.
Garum was their like, this is where the flavor's at, and then
oh my god,
after it's done fermenting, you strain it off, and you're left with garum.
You know how there's a bunch of garbage isekai where like some guy goes back into another world and he has like a gimmick thing or makes like a food or whatever.
Most of the time they invent mayonnaise.
I was gonna say I'm thinking ketchup.
Ketchup. The reason that I don't foresee that being a thing is because even in isekai things, like it's like very European, so tomatoes are like New World thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes it the American spin. That's how you know I'm an American as fuck, is I'm gonna make ketchup in my isekai.
So specifically with ketchup, you have to specify what kind of ketchup it is, because ketchup was a catch-all term for
catsup.
Hold on for one moment. Everybody hold on for one moment, because what I just realized is I don't know what the fuck else is in ketchup besides tomatoes.
Vinegar and salt and sugar.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Basically. And then proprietary blends of spice.
Right.
So I was under the impression that catsup was like the catch-all term for whatever fruit-based sauce. And then the ketchup as we know it is a specific version of catsup that I guess became ubiquitous in American cuisine.
So it's either or.
Okay.
There was no agreed upon spelling of either catsup or ketchup. And it actually comes from Asia, weirdly enough, where that was just a type of sauce.
Yeah,
which was
fruit sauce.
No, it was basically soy sauce. And then they would just call it ketchup.
Huh.
No, because it was.
I imagine it was a Chinese word that's sort of.
It got anglicized, and then that was ketchup, was like basically soy sauce, and then decades, 100 years later, now soy sauce is not ketchup anymore, and instead it's specific like seasoning sauces. The big one that before tomato ketchup was mushroom ketchup. Basically, like you just boiled down a buck ton of mushrooms, made a concentrate out of it,
and
then that makes sense. That's actually how you flavor a lot of things. But then it wasn't until late 1800s where a German American man basically made tomato ketchup as it is today, Heinz. Which there was other tomato ketchups, but they were typically considered to be bad. And then Heinz came along, and then he made them. Added way more vinegar, salt, and sugar to give, and then that's literally it stayed the same ever since. Like Heinz ketchup is like the definitive ketchup, tomato ketchup of the world.
What a fun history lesson!
Yeah,
I didn't know that at all.
I like food.
Mario likes food. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it here. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy the nature of this content, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Famfare. And go ahead and give me a follow on Blue Sky. And with that, have an excellent evening.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.